Uh,
That's
hello,
bad when you
listeners.
start off on minus 1 second with a joke.
Uh, hello, listeners. I pressed record without telling Richard 3, 2, 1, and this is what we get. But yeah, Richard just had tea and not the drink, but dinner, which is what I just learned that UK people call dinner tea time.
I mean, we call it different things depending on which part of the country you're in as well. Like
Well,
supper is tea, or also what you would think of as supper in terms of actually an after dinner, and then
yeah.
yeah, we're just a very confusing people.
Yeah, and then we went to caffeine, and
Yes.
us Croats love our caffeine. Any way you can get it into your body, you're gonna get it. But somebody that needs caffeine in their bodies is, well, Rijeka players. They're
Mhm.
probably a bit worn out from celebrating their double because they won the cup, and somebody else is that needs a bit of caffeine to get their juices flowing. And I hope they actually get prepared for the next season and really well. Is Varaždin, who are going to Europe, going on a
Yeah.
European adventure in the Conference League.
Yeah, which is nice. And obviously, with it, Dinamo confirmed in the Europa League straight off.
Yep.
Nice. It's easy, isn't it? Don't have to start your season in July.
No, it's. I mean, you don't even. You could just wait for August. Like July is just like, hey, you can get prepared. You don't need to focus on anything. Meanwhile, Hajduk, Varaždin, and Rijeka, they need to get started.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dynamo's thankfully for them, their coefficient is actually good. So they've
Yes.
gotten straight. Unlike everybody else, their coefficient is actually good. So they're actually going straight into the Europa League. Shakhtar Donetsk is obviously not going to be happy because if Slovan won the cup, they would have also went straight to the Europa League. Now they're starting in the first qualifying round. So that's going from straight qualification to starting the season as early as possible.
Yeah. Not
Thankful,
helpful.
well, thank God we're not Ukrainians for many reasons. Anyways, the cup final. Rijeka won it, and nice Juachra delivered a beautiful goal,
Yeah.
and Ljuban Trepolja was denied. I would say even better goal.
Yeah. I mean, it's an unstoppable goal from Jaro.
Yeah,
I mean, just the pace on it is. I mean, we've seen Sushak be equal to a lot this season, but no,
yeah.
that was by him too quick. I mean, obviously, we sort of had the goal of the season chat last year. I mean, again, that would be up there again for the importance of it.
Yeah, for the
Uh,
importance and just the quality of it in that kind of
yeah,
game.
yeah, and it was reflective of it of the game as a whole. I mean, Rijeka were vastly on top most of the time
Yeah,
until fight night.
until yeah, fight night and the cup night. Can't forget the cup that delivered delivered a cut to Trubalic, which nobody saw. Uh,
Yeah,
Trubalic just went back to the pitch, blood just searing down, and nobody, uh, nobody apart from us that were on TV noticed it. But I
yeah.
thankfully it wasn't that bad of a cut, so I stopped pretty quickly. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a fun night for Manolo, who came on and 10 minutes later he was off.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where just because it escalated so quickly was why he went. I mean,
Yeah,
there wasn't really much going on, and there wasn't really much in the fight, as it were.
no,
You know, I think the most active person was, let's say, Yuri fan, who decided just to
for
really
some reason.
obviously right in front of the camera just run across and
Yeah, you're
lob a
you're
cup.
at Rijeka as well. You're at Rijeka as well. You're literally there. You're literally next to the pitch.
Yeah,
So cameras are gonna get, like, if you're at Poljud, maybe the camera's not gonna get you because you're kind of far away, or at the maximum there's no chance the camera getting you because you're in the sky literally
yeah,
compared to the players. So yeah, I hope he gets banned. I've seen nothing about it. So if he doesn't get banned, I don't know what the police is doing, or the Highness or Rijeka.
Yeah, he won't exactly be difficult to find.
Yeah, well, his face is on there, so everybody's
Yeah,
gonna know who it is.
it was a good shot though.
I mean, pretty hard to miss a group
Yeah.
of players. I mean, if he was aiming for Chubulic's head, then fair enough.
Yeah.
I'll say, okay, good job, you you did something, but I doubt he was aiming for anybody. I thought he was just a bit drunk and was just like, you know what, they're having a go, I'll have a go
Yeah, absolutely.
with a cup. But yeah, Rijeka won the cup, so that's not the only cup they got that day. But I mean, after the red card, it was all Slaven, obviously, because the players obviously felt the chance, and they had to take it. But sadly for them, somebody invented the woodwork,
Yeah.
the post. So Ljuban Trepulja's shot, which was amazing, yeah, straight into the post, and that's all she wrote for. I mean, the top flight.
Yeah, I mean, it's straight, like you say, straight on the post, but also straight back out, nice and safe. Nothing.
Yeah, there were no deflections,
Yeah, you've got the luck
no
going for
second
you.
chances. Yeah. And after the match, obviously, Radomir Jalovic had a lot of fun with the presenters. Very good guy, and he obviously said, "I need he's like, I have no breaks. I'm getting drunk tonight, and then
Mhm.
next week I'm in Bratislava trying to get my coaching licenses."
Yeah, and they've already been signing as well.
Yeah, they signed another player from Germany, the lower leagues.
Omar
Uh,
Shiaric.
Omar Šiarić, yeah, and there's a middle name in there that I
Omar
forgot.
Sharif
Sharif, yeah.
Shiaric. So when you Google him, it comes up as like, no, it's not the actor. Because obviously it's not the actor. Because why would Rick be
Yeah,
signing the actor? Because for a start, he's dead.
I,
But
you never know.
yeah, but it's an interesting one actually, because I don't know if you've seen anything about him, but he sort of was coming through, and then he missed a lot of time because he had to beat cancer when he was 20. So
Oh, I didn't see that.
he's 20. He's 23 now. I think this is probably like this past season for Al. He's had I think it was like 36 games, 5 goals, and a few assists in there as well. So it's not a bad record by any
No, it's
means,
okay.
but for really, that's sort of in terms of what he's been through and the amount of football he's been able to play. You probably talk about that really being his age 20 season.
Yeah,
So there's definitely a lot to come from him, and let's be honest, Rijeka hunting the regional Liga in Germany has been a pretty good hunting ground for them in the past.
yeah. I mean, when I saw the move first, like a couple of weeks ago when it was first reported on, I was like, yeah, fair enough. If it's working out, it's working out. You if something's working, don't fix it. Don't try and fix it. Don't go anywhere else.
Yeah,
Because they
exactly.
obviously you got Ivanovic, you got Marko Pasalic, so maybe Šiaric is also going to be nice. So we'll see. Departures. We obviously spoke about Fruk last
Hmm.
time a lot because Leipzig were in the news about him.
Yeah,
Now, nothing new has come up, but it's still the main talking point. Is it better for Fruk to stay in Rijeka for another season like Baturna did this season, or is it better that he moves on immediately this summer? And then we also have Salahi probably leaving. Joachra has come out and said in an interview that nothing's done yet, that he's gonna see with Rijeka if he wants to extend the contract. So yeah, and Petrovic's extended option has been activated for Rijeka, so his contract isn't gonna run out this year. It's gonna run out next year unless he extends it. So yeah, what about Fruk?
um, well, I mean, obviously with the national team at the minute, but I think he's not been training because he's been recovering from his
It's a
later
very slight.
exertions.
It's a very slight injury. He's been in the gym. He hasn't
Yeah,
been training with the team. He's just been in the gym.
yeah. I mean, I think it's pretty much as I said last week. I mean, I think really, there is the interest for him, but for Rijeka, it's in their interest to keep him into August.
Yeah, until after the qualifiers, 100%.
Exactly. Yeah, because with the percentages going on, as we mentioned, the biggest earning potential they have from Vrook is playing him, not from selling him at this point. And then, like I say, once okay, we're in Conference League, confirmed, right, that's fine. You can go now. We've got an extra 4 million out of you.
Yeah. And if you get Europa League, maybe the Champions League, if you get a good draw, if you get Champions League or even Europa League, you can probably convince them to be like, hey, keep with us this season. You're probably gonna be you can get a few more. We can get a few more million out of you. You can get a better contract next summer, and especially with the national team is there. You're still gonna have the qualifiers going on, so you can also boost your market value there.
Yeah.
So I will see. I hope we get a similar situation because the more great players we keep in the league, the league is just going to be better instead of selling immediately in July. So yeah, we'll see. And Salahi is probably going to leave, but Salahi has always been a strange topic at Rijeka. So yeah, let's move on to Sunday then, which saw a newcomer. Well, not a newcomer. After 25 years, Vukovar will be back in the HNL.
Yeah, and again, a bit of not a fight, but a bit of controversy at the end.
Yeah, but in the end, I don't think it really mattered. But still, it's very bad to see because Mandic was a good way in his own net when he slipped and essentially brought the ball beyond the line.
Yeah,
but
I think
it was with like 20 seconds left.
Yeah, I mean, certainly he wouldn't get away with that next season with VAR.
No. You would hope so, at least. At least you would hope so. You never know.
No guarantees.
No guarantee. It's not guaranteed in our football. He can try it. We'll see if it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, Gordon Schildenfeld is obviously the manager of Vukovar, so he's back in the top step. And what was interesting to see on Monday, not Šibenik, we'll get to Šibenik. It was for me. It was interesting to see that Opatija actually got Kantrida to be licensed for the HNL. So if they got promoted, we would have had Kantrida again, but they didn't. They lost, and now we're gonna have Vinkovci, which means another stadium in the north. When you look at I love the new club map that Supersport made, and you just see Hajduk, everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just comes to show you how badly football in Dalmatia has come. Šibenik obviously now down in the 4th tier. Well, most likely won't even play a match in the 4th tier because you can't sustain anything now at the Subicheva. So we'll most likely get a new team. That's not gonna be HNK. It's gonna be just NK Šibenik. So sadly, it's nothing new for a club that gets relegated. We've obviously seen Zagreb perish into the lower leagues. Just thankfully, they didn't need to make a Phoenix club. Inter Zapršić, though, did have to. Split are struggling in the 4th tier. Who else? I mean, Rudeš is doing fine. They stayed up this season in the 2nd tier. Cibali obviously were struggling a lot financially, but I think they've sorted it out now, and especially with Vukovar giving them almost $1 million for renting the stadium.
Yeah.
That's gonna help. But yeah, it just comes to show how badly we have it in Dalmatia, except for Hajduk.
Yeah, it is.
And Zadar, obviously.
Yeah, but I mean, even then, they've had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
So yeah, it needs to balance itself out a bit. But there's, like you say, I mean, with where everyone is, aside from Hajduk, obviously, it's not set to for a few years.
Yeah. It's sad to see because so much talent comes from here, and I'm in Dubrovnik for uni, and I'm like this club, this city could use a good club, and then I go to a match of Gorsk, and I'm just like, yeah, You see the stadium, you're like, you can actually make a great stadium at Lapad because you have a bit of space. You can make it a bit more modern. It also has a unique style. It's kind of, you need to go down. It's kind of in a, I wouldn't call it a crater, but somewhat of a crater. Makes for a unique experience. But yeah, sadly, I don't think anybody's gonna be investing in any Dalmatian club soon.
Well, we'll try and win the lottery.
Yeah,
quickest way to lose it.
Quickest way to lose it. Yeah, invest it into a football club, get promoted to the HNL, and get relegated. You're gone in debt forever. But yeah, what to say about Šibenik? It's been reported that the players only received 1 or 2, and the staff that they only received 1 or 2 salaries the entire season.
Yeah, which, I mean, again, we've said it before, but there's one task you have to do as running a football club, which is pay the flipping players,
and the staff, and just everybody. Just pay, pay everybody that you employ.
Yeah,
that's your job.
It sounds easy, and apparently isn't.
Apparently it isn't.
But yeah,
that's
and it hasn't a knock-on effect. Obviously it's not bad in terms of the sporting integrity in INL, because
because a club like that needs to get punished.
Yeah, they need to get punished, but also they're 1 out of 10, and even going into the second tier, they're 1 out of 20 really that aren't doing what they should be doing. When that turns into 3 or 4, then you have a problem, because and this the thing I was going to get on my soapbox a bit, because I don't know if you've sort of seen what's gone on in Macedonia this season.
Oh yeah, no, I know, I know.
So for those who haven't, there's Voska, who basically got kicked out of the league for a walk-off. Gostivar got basically kicked out of the league for a walk-off, because I watched that Gostivar game. It was not on the level. But again, if guys aren't getting paid, what are you expecting? I mean, at the end of the day, you've got to pay to eat. So whether that comes through how it should, or whether that comes through a brown envelope at some point, from a moral and ethical standpoint, people are going to reach a breaking point, and that's what's happened. And it has, a permanent issue on the integrity of a game that takes years and years to get through, because how Serbia are not through it yet. They're better than they used to be, a bit, but again, but it is a bit. How many? It's what was it, 2 seasons ago? I think it said UEFA came to them and said, we have evidence from the betting that these games are rigged, and they went and punished, and they came out and said, well, do you know what, you shouldn't be complaining, because last season we were told the same and we just covered it up, so we're much better now. Like,
we're much better now.
That's not better.
We're much better now. You didn't find out.
But this is for my own ideas. UEFA should have almost a little backup fund. They make however much they make from the Champions League. You can spare 2.5 million for an emergency fund for players who aren't getting paid by clubs.
Yeah. But they won't.
No, they won't. They won't because the clubs that are getting that money will not let them. But if they want, I appreciate again, they don't care about the health of, Macedonian or Serbian or
obviously,
or anything, any football like that.
Why would they care? Because they're not playing in Europe.
But they should, because
obviously.
At the end of the day, that's their pipeline of talent.
Yeah. But it's nothing surprising, and Macedonian football just in general this season has been wild. I have a friend who every now and then this season just came to me and was like, "Hey, you want to hear something of Macedonian football?" And then it's the wildest thing I've heard in the month. But nothing surprising when it comes, especially with Voška. I know the story about Voška and their owner, who's let's just say controversial,
Mm.
to say the least. But yeah, Šibenik's owners also not the best, obviously. Have the Colombian ties, and just hasn't worked out. So I mean, it's surprising to see that Šibenik were, let's say, in the fight, and that the players were actually playing. They were actually giving it their all, despite not getting paid for months and months, or getting paid and just not getting paid what they're supposed to. But I mean, they'll fight. I mean, obviously Morrison has already moved on to Charlotte,
Yep.
and I'll bet everybody else will, because I think their entire starting lineup can play in a high NL club, with whatever club that is, and Vukovar can pick somebody up definitely from Šibenik.
Yeah, exactly. And that's at the end of the day, for a long time, that's what they were playing for, just for a contract. It wasn't like Rudez.
Yeah,
Who from there would you seriously sit and say, okay, actually, I want to keep them on next season for their experience or anything like that? You wouldn't, and they didn't really.
yeah,
But for Šibenik, most of their players prove that they belong at this level. Whether it's Vukovar, because obviously that's a bit of a commute,
a bit.
but and that sort of goes again to the problem that of clubs in Dalmatia. You need another option
Yeah,
for where these guys can go, but they've done what they can to make their case.
yeah, and they did their case brilliantly.
Yeah.
So yeah, and back to Vukovar now. Their chances are pretty slim. Let's be honest. So obviously you get no money in the second tier here when you
Mhm.
get promoted. They're like, hey, you made it to the top tier. Congrats. Now, good luck. Good
I
luck.
don't remember saying good luck.
They don't even say good luck. They're just like, hey, welcome, and that's it. You gotta face Hajduk, Dinamo, Rijeka now. Meanwhile, you have no money, and you're only gonna get it at the end of the season. So, hey,
Yeah, I mean they do have a couple of players who will be fine at again making the step up, obviously, but
some,
not not loads. They
not
need
yeah,
quite a bit
not
of
the
work.
entire team. Yeah, and I doubt they'll get it. I'll think it's mostly gonna be probably poaching some Šibenik players, because they're obviously gonna be free agents, and just any other free agent that comes up.
And it's usually most seasons it's a perfectly good
Yeah,
strategy to do that. What I would say is this season, sort of going through the free agents this over the weekend, it's
not a lot.
it's a harder market than usual,
Yeah,
particularly because at the end of the day, probably some of the guys that they'll want to be bringing in will also, Sabem, Barazin, Ronaldinho,
Gorica.
whoever, will
Yeah,
want to also be sniffing around that market, and they can offer more security. But they'll be
and
better than
probably,
Rudez.
probably. Let's hope. Uh, let's hope, and they can definitely offer them better money,
Yeah.
because they obviously have much bigger budgets. But it'll be fun to see Heinel back at Vinkovci. Uh, it's a legendary stadium that I do not have fond memories of, because the last time I watched a game at Vinkovci was Hajduk Dinamo in the Cup Final
Mhm.
2018, which was not fun to watch as a Hajduk fan. Not at all. But yeah, sad it's not Sibalia. It's not gonna be the same, obviously, but we can't play in Borovo Naselje,
Mhm.
because if you watch the game on Sunday, that's just
Yeah.
that's not
No.
it. And if you especially if you saw Borovo Naselje during the winter, if you ever watched the Vukovar game in the winter, oh no, oh no, God forbid that in the high NL. I mean, we have Gorica, so it wouldn't be much different.
No.
Wouldn't be much different, but yeah. The only team right now that I can see possibly getting relegated other than Vukovar is Gorica, because they're losing their entire squad essentially, due to contracts.
Yeah, that's I mean, they're in a bit of a scary place, really,
Yeah,
because, like I say, obviously Banic is already gone, and
yeah,
we saw what they have to replace him with on the last day of the season, so that's not good.
yeah,
Prismanic, I think, is meant to be joining Olympia, was what I've heard.
yeah. So it's crazy. So Olympia, MLS clubs are sniffing around,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody mentioned Rijeka, but I think that's way over. Because Rijeka's been interested in Krizmanic for the last 2 years. Nothing's happened.
Yeah,
It's always, oh, Rijeka are here. It's always like
yeah.
whoever says that, they're like, it's just a safe bet to say.
And if there's a position they don't really need anyone in.
Yeah, no,
Um, but I mean, like I say, it is everyone going. I think of the starting 11 in the last series game against in the Hideout game, 9 of them are gone. And
oh
you
yeah,
two that are staying at Seg, who's you know
Erzig,
35 and
Erzig,
yeah, and Mikanovic.
yeah.
So again, they're both on their way. They were protecting Priscilla so he can make them some money, hopefully.
I mean, tough again after this kind of season.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Where he's injured.
Yeah, he's hung on the season too long from unfortunately, but really, all they've got there is Ersa, Church, and Kolar as attacking options. That's basically the only bit of the squad that's not really heavily changed,
Yeah,
but it's also not really heavily good enough.
no, but you can use it. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not something you have to upgrade on,
no, no, no. I think
especially considering that they literally have nothing on the other positions.
yeah. I mean, they'll have to. I mean, I, they'll just have to get anyone, and everyone. It'll be people who are coming back to the league who didn't do well in the league last time. I expect like Castrati,
Yeah.
someone like that.
Like,
Yeah,
considering how his last time at Lokomotiva went, I would not
but
suggest
that's
that.
but that's the sort of market they're going to be shopping around in.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for them.
I mean, yeah, Leslie's going back to Bochum. Yeah, not that there's literally nobody staying. Well,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting what Gorica do this summer because they need to do a lot of business.
Mm. The only other ones that sort of pay a little bit would be Lokomotiva, but I'd say in that only because one, you have a new manager in,
Yeah,
who's just going to have to prove himself, and two, your midfield's going.
yeah, your midfield's going, and you have Jelavic coming up, so I doubt they'll probably buy some players, but I don't think that many because I have a feeling Jelavic is gonna want to move up a lot of juniors up to the
Yeah,
senior team to try them out.
which is the other thing with Lokomotiva. Like you say, I mean, I think Schmacher will go. That might go again. There's been clubs interested in him.
Yeah,
Obviously, Vipancic and Madrasia away to
yeah,
Dinamo. So, but again, you sort of have a trust in Lokomotiva that we don't have in Gorica, that there is some 17-year-old in their academy who will just come and be the next, generation.
yeah.
They'll
He's just
probably,
gonna come in, slot in, and he'll just next season's just gonna be like around probably October. They're gonna be like, hey, this guy's good. This
yeah.
guy's out. He like in the last 5 games, he has like 2 goals and an assist, which for a 17-year-old.
And then next time we're saying, so this guy's moving to Dinamo.
And all of a sudden, January, Dinamo picks him up on loan
Yeah.
until the end of the season. Lokomotiva next season, God knows. Well, hopefully hopefully they don't do a Marko Brkljac and just destroy his career.
Yeah.
Just doesn't spend the rest of his career in Slovenia. But yeah, they're gonna have somebody. But we both agreed last time that we want Varaždin that have the best chance of going on a run in Europe because nobody's leaving for one.
Yeah.
Slaven already has players, and we've seen what's happening with Istra right now. Istra is getting picked apart. They're getting every day is just like, oh, List is joining Dinamo, Garcia's going to Hajduk, Oh, would you look at that? Moris Valicic might go to Dinamo.
Yeah,
Oh, would you?
Rodic to Blackburn was what they were
Yeah,
saying.
yeah. Rosic to Blackburn. Eh, there was one beautiful comment on Twitter, one beautiful tweet. An English portal reported on Rosic, and it's like Istra 1961. He has a contract until 2026, 2027, and he's like, God damn, that 100-year contract. They got that guy on lockup.
Yeah.
But yeah, Istra is getting picked apart. Nothing else to say. So in the end, I think Varazin is the best bet, as we did say.
And I think for Varazin, for their business, I mean, all they really need is a striker. Well, they need creativity and a striker.
And a striker.
Yeah.
That can actually finish his chances.
Yeah. A striker. You know, I think they'd be the ones who would probably be. I'd put them at the front of the race for Santini.
Yeah.
It makes sense. And then the rest of it is just whatever they do with Mitrowski. You know, if they sell him and then you're talking about you bring a left winger, bring a right winger.
Yeah.
You're pretty much sorted. I don't know what the market for Guric is. That would be a very sensible one.
True. Yeah, we'll see. For now, I think Santini to Varazin would be the best bet. And Varazin with Santini in front, who's definitely going to score at least 5 goals in a season, which is 4 more than Dabro. At the very least. And he's gonna, just with his presence, is gonna attract more focus on him, so you can leave more space for somebody in behind. So and once again, nobody's leaving the club. Everybody has a contract until 2026 at the very least. So the entire team is there. There is really no reason why, if they get a good draw or an okay draw, that they can't put up a fight to anybody in Europe.
Exactly. I think we're June 17th is the draws, I think
So.
Something like that. So, but I mean, obviously we'll find out the groups a little bit before that. But yeah, that's when football restarts. None of this Club World Cup crap.
No, today I saw somebody say, "Are you gonna play?" Like somebody posted on Twitter, "Are you guys gonna play Fantasy Club World Cup?" And I'm like, I'm not gonna watch it, let alone play the fantasy of it. I can make a team and then forget about it the next day and delete the app.
Yeah, just because it's got the words World Cup does not mean it's going to be good.
No, especially now after the season. Like the only teams that are going to be actually going for it is probably the South American teams.
And Real.
True. But yeah, speaking of Real Madrid, we'll get back to some other high-level news. But Luka Modric has today and yesterday, Fabrizio Romano, and today La Repubblica reported that Modric is in talks with Milan. Some say that he's actually agreed a contract with them, but it's still up in the air. So AC Milan would be a good step. I mean, at 40. Moving down from Real Madrid to AC Milan at 40 is you're still doing good. I saw somebody on Reddit post an article that described Luka Modric as a 40-year-old unemployed unemployed 40-year-old, and I'm like, that's one way to call a free agent.
Yeah.
Poor guy is unemployed. Can you imagine how he's feeling? But yeah, AC Milan.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they didn't get hammered 5-0 in the final, so already best Milan club. Yeah, I think again for him, it's what he wants to tick off on his bucket list, really, and it would make sense Italian football as something he wants to tick off, because he can just easily commute from Croatia if that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
If he was that bothered about staying in Spain, he'd probably have just been have joined Vallecano.
Yeah, they're also still interested.
Yeah.
because they're obviously just like, hey, do you like Madrid? You can stay.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. You
Yeah.
can't win the raffle if you don't buy a ticket. But yeah, I think it's as sensible an option as you're going to get, and it keeps him playing top tier football, which
Yeah.
is ultimately what he wants to. And I think that would always have been the slight worry coming back to Hino would be actually is he going to lose his sharpness a little
Yeah.
bit, which when we were looking at last summer we probably thought Perisic had, and then
yeah, obviously
he
sad
didn't.
to see. Yeah.
So and it's a good club to be at.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to Italy, if you want to be at one of the Milan clubs or Roma or Juve.
Yeah. Or like Scott McTominay at Napoli.
Yes. Ballon d'Or, Scott McTominay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, Maradona, the second coming of Diego Maradona. My God. I was playing an FM save with my friends, and we were actually doing one in Italy. I'm the manager of Torino just because of Nikola Vlasic. That's the entire reason why I took over Torino. And I've just been signing Croatians. That's besides the point. But we were playing, and all of a sudden I just see Napoli take the lead, and obviously we're kind of following now the league. And I'm like, Napoli scored, and I'm like, it has to be McTominay. Who else is it gonna be? And of course, it was McTominay. And then I open up Twitter to see the goal, and I see what I see a half scissor kick in a must-win match to win the title. I'm like, yeah, fair enough. He's especially with how many goals did he score in the last 6-7 games? Just
more than
goal
Manchester
contributions.
United did in the Europa League final.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, no, he was very crucial to Napoli. But I was gonna say that Luka Modric and Italian football are, especially at this age, are gonna go very hand in hand. It's definitely gonna suit him the best out of the top 5 leagues now.
Yeah, I think you do have a tradition really in Italian football of just having one. I really don't want to say ancient player, but I'm going to say ancient player.
You can say it, yeah.
Who's just
he is Asian. He's 39, 40 in 3 months.
Who's just still hanging around the top end of it, as Zanetti did, as Buffon did, as Costacurta did as well. That's just Italian football, isn't it? Quagliarella, him as well.
Yeah, it really is. What else? Should we go back to the Heinel before we go to the national team?
Yeah.
Yeah, Garcia, obviously, we spoke about it. Should be presented very soon. I think either tonight or tomorrow at Hajduk. It should be very soon. That's all we know. But nothing yet.
Yeah. Easter, too busy just trying to wave away vultures from the carcass.
They're probably asking Hajduk every hour or so. Are you sure you want to get? Are you sure you want to get him? Completely 99, 100. You're 100% sure. Okay. But are you really sure you want to sign him? Hajduk obviously did try to negotiate the 430K release compensation fee that they have to pay for Garcia and his assistants. They tried to lowball Istra, and Istra was always like, motherfuckers, no. Give us the money.
Yeah.
It's not even that much. And Hajduk, meanwhile, in more than 10 million debt, has Istra wanting their compensation fee and Edin Dzeko wanting 2 million in a salary. I can just imagine the look Dzeko received when he said that to the board. Did you see the news? Are you following? No? Yeah. We can see. You're not gonna play for €1 like Perisic and Kalinic did? Get out of here.
That's all we've got in the budget. We tried it with Modric. He didn't want it either.
We tried to give him his height, but in euros, he didn't want to take it. Yeah.
You must be this tall to get more than €100.
I also saw some Hajduk fans again, SN reported a while ago that like a couple of years ago in 2018, 2019, that Kvaratskhelia was close to joining Hajduk. Well, not close. A scout had scouted Kvaratskhelia and brought him to Hajduk, and Hajduk just said no. A Georgian player in the Georgian league, you want us to sign him? We're not gonna give that a chance. And then we signed, I don't know, Steliano Filip.
I mean, I think I mean, obviously it's nonsense, but also I think probably undersells the fact that kind of everyone knew about Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah, well, like this was like just before that,
Yeah.
like just
No, I
before
mean
that.
even then, I mean,
Yeah,
I think Lokomotiv when he was in Moscow, at
yeah,
that point everyone was on him, but even when he was in
yeah. But
Georgia,
before
not a
that,
lot of
yeah,
people.
no, yeah. But still, if he did come to Hajduk, do you really think he would be at the level he is now? The Torcida would probably destroy his car because he missed a good chance against Dinamo Rijeka.
Yeah, he'd
Dude,
probably be in Azerbaijan. Oh, well, maybe not, but there we go. Well, look,
maybe he'll
it
be
would be that sort of thing.
if that happened, he will be replacing Al Jaber at Željezničar right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, God, how much money are Željezničar getting? Like 5 million?
Something
4?
silly like that, yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy money for the Bosnian league. I'm like, when I saw the fee, I was like, it has to be fake news. Even from Saudi Arabia, surely can lowball a Bosnian club. Apparently not.
Well, no, I mean they tried to set up things to send all their players there and then nearly get them relegated. That's what Saudi Arabia does in Bosnia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God. But yeah, Garcia at Hajduk, we obviously spoke about it last time. I just want Garcia to do at least 2 seasons and for Hajduk to actually keep a tactical philosophy by which they appoint managers, which is too much to ask for, and I know that.
Yes, it is. It's too much. That's for pretty much any club, to be fair.
Well, yeah, but at least do a Rijeka, at least have some kind of consistency and a market plan.
Yeah.
But no. We're in debt over 10 million. Have to sell players. God knows what the squad is going to look like next season. But yeah, anything else? I mean, oh yeah, La Masia coach at Dinamo,
Yes.
Albert Capellas. I hope I'm pronouncing Capellas right.
I believe so. I mean, my Spanish is as good as my Croatian, so sure, go with it.
Sure, let's go with it. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice pickup. Head of the youth academy now, director of the youth academy. Which I mean, if you're gonna try and get somebody to, take care of the youth academy, it's gonna be a La Masia coach.
Yeah, I've definitely. I mean, got to say, I mean, he's 35 years into his career, so it's not. This is for him probably 3 years, and then
Yeah,
we'll be looking at retiring. But that can be a very good 3 years, particularly if you're wanting to, which I'm not sure Boban does at this point, or at least I'm not sure strategically is working towards that in the right way. You want to have that top-down approach from first team all the way
yeah,
through the academy, like you say, which we'll see. Having
yeah,
all the academy playing the same way is a start, and having that technical ability, which is what you would expect it bring in, is a bare minimum for any standard of football. No.
yeah.
But
And also
can they do it on a cold December's night in Velika Gorica?
probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. A news today also popped up by our friend Lorenzo,
Mm-hmm.
who reported not that long ago, I think an hour ago now, that Barcelona are interested in Cardoso Varela, who obviously joined Dinamo this year from Porto, and that was a big case. Porto fans are not very happy. Whenever I see any post about Cardoso Valera, either that I do it or somebody else posts about Cardoso Valera La Dinamo, they're obviously they stolen from us. Cheating club. Which is like, guys, you could have extended this contract.
Yeah. They just did to Porto what they did to Osijek.
Yeah. Also, speaking of Osijek, Matkovic wanted by Ajax, apparently. I forgot he exists, to be honest, because he hasn't played in months. I was like, Matkovic. Oh yeah, that's familiar. Oh,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
that guy.
Osijek still have him.
Well, Osijek's treatment room still has him,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
mainly what has had him
This
since he
season.
first came through, and that's well, even last season as well, which would put me off from an Ajax perspective. But I suppose from the buying club perspective, you would also see, okay, well, they brought through Bellew.
Yeah.
That's actually a production line I want to be on.
Yeah. And also, who else? What other transfer rumor did I see today? Oh yeah, as you mentioned, Bello. He's rumored to go to Real Sociedad because they're apparently sniffing around Ante Budimir. Not Ante Budimir, Bello. Ante Budimir is on Real Madrid's shortlist to be the Joselu type.
And the Paisano, the ones. Sociedad obviously thinking, big Croatian, it works.
They're not really happy with Luka Sucic.
Well, he's not that big.
Well, no,
he's
the
not
problem.
As big as
No, so I don't know if you saw the drama between Luka Sucic and the Real Sociedad fans. I kind of had a play in it because I reported his quote from the Sportska Novosti interview, which he did. And apparently the interviewer, he said to Luka, "We know you're a big fan of Real Madrid. Do you want to be Luka too at Real Madrid?" And apparently he said it would be a dream. I reported that, and I didn't look at my phone for like 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I pick up my phone, I just see Spanish on it, and I'm like, "What's going on here?" And I just see like 10 quote retweets, and I'm like, "Oh no!" I translate each one, and I'm like, "Shit, poor guy." In the end, it looks like he actually didn't say that, or he probably called the interviewer and was like, "Hey, can you remove that, please? I don't want that to be out there." But
I
on his,
don't think there's anything wrong with that. I mean,
well, no, but like if you're a Real Sociedad fan and they kind of hate Real Madrid, so you obviously don't want.
Yeah, every other Spanish club hates Real Madrid, though. So
Yeah, but it's also because he before said that he views Real Sociedad as a stepping stone, which again, while you're at the club, you can't really be saying that because at this point in his career, this is the biggest club he's played for. So if this is where you peak, and you say this is a stepping stone, then you gotta be grateful, Luka, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Be grateful, because this is the second time I reported a quote of yours, and I've gotten Spanish people in my comments just being not angry towards me, just being like, "This idiot again."
Yeah. It's like, it's the off season. Do you not know it should be Turkish people who are quoting everything?
Yeah. We obviously mentioned Dzeko while we were at Turkey.
And
Apparently,
Mikirovic is going to hell. Sorry,
yeah,
Hull.
same thing.
Yeah.
He got a weird send off. He got I forgot the name of the club. Some sport, someone sport. Their home fans threw bottles at him, and he clapped to them because one guy finally managed to hit him with a bottle, and he turned around and clapped him. And the ref was apparently like, "Yeah, that's enough. Here's your second yellow. You're off." Okay.
Maybe the same guy from Rijeka.
Maybe he made that. Maybe he really. It would make sense.
Yeah.
They they really hate the Akirovic.
Just gonna try and get banned from every club.
He's just gonna follow Akirovic around
Yeah.
the world and just keep throwing stuff at him. Wherever he goes, he's there.
And
Like the boogeyman.
And then Yakirovic realizes for self-preservation, he moves to Scotland because you're not allowed to have cups in the stands.
Yeah, you're not. I know that. But yeah, he's going to Hull. I mean, Hull barely survived the championship this season.
Yeah.
So we'll see what he can do. I mean, you just stay up at this point for Hull. That's probably their goal.
I mean, I think the owners are a bit. I don't want to say deluded, but
They're Turkish.
They have high expectations. Yeah,
They're Turkish.
Yeah, they have high expectations.
They're Turkish. Just
yeah.
Whatever you're gonna say now, just explains. You could just explain it by saying Turkish.
Yeah, they have a different view of how things should be. I think the fans. I mean, I think from the whole fans that I've seen are quite like one who, and two like who's he ever managed? Like we managed the Champions League, and all they know about him is the 9-2.
Yeah.
And then people saying, "Oh, he's actually a really defensive manager." I'm like, no, it's not.
Guys,
just.
Did you watch the game?
Yeah. It was really open. There were 11 goals.
Did you see the game, guys?
Yeah.
11 goals. But yeah, that's just in general English fans. I think just whenever somebody else pops up, that's not in the main spotlight in the media or in football. It's just who is he?
Yeah, it is uniquely insular.
Yeah. Any other transfer news that we've missed?
No, national team time.
Yeah.
Gibraltar time.
Gibraltar time. I hate. Okay, first of all, I hate that every single player and Dalic are like, we're playing against Gibraltar. They're a really good side. We can't underestimate them. Guys, please. We're not speaking about Czechia. We're not gonna play Czechia yet. That's after. But like, you're playing Gibraltar. This is like going into San Marino. We're not Bosnia. We're not gonna struggle against Liechtenstein. Like, guys, please.
I mean, we should be we should be fair to Gibraltar from the perspective that Nations League they did beat San Marino, so that's
Sure.
And they did go unbeaten. So it's not they weren't bad from
in the Nations League
in their little mini group of
in the league
that they're playing against. Yes, but they were fairly competitive against Montenegro. They took the lead, and it was fairly late on that Montenegro got past them. But
they got past.
Prosinecki manages them. There's your excuse.
Yeah,
Czechia beat them fairly easily. Really, from a Croatia perspective, one, I'm expecting a very different team. But two, you're looking at the Czechia score. Czechia won 4-0. We need to win 5-0. And that's really about as much as you can say about it. Just sort out your goal difference, and then if that comes down to be a tiebreaker at the end of the group, you've got it.
Yeah, and knowing us, it probably will. But I hate that today I see Sucic and Jakic in the press conference say, "We gotta be wary. We can't underestimate them, guys. Please, you like Sucic, you're worth more. Like just you by yourself could buy the entire Gibraltar national team just by yourself, by your salary.
And the monkeys."
Yeah, and the monkeys. But please, we're playing against Gibraltar. I don't want them to go, "Oh yeah, we're gonna beat them 5-0." Just say we're gonna win. Like just that.
Yeah, I think just saying we're going to estimate them exactly as we should.
Yeah.
And that means we're going to win 4-0.
Yeah.
5-0. I think,
But I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if we beat them 1-0. Just the most boring game ever. Which was a very similar thing not that long ago. I think in the Euro qualifiers. No, the World Cup qualifiers against Cyprus. Also at Rijeka. Toughest game I ever had to watch, ever in football.
Cyprus are better. They're a big.
They are better
for a start.
They are better. They are better, but they're still a team Croatia should be beating somewhat easily.
I mean, particularly now they've gotten worse over the past 5 years or so. But yeah, I mean, if it's anything other than 4-5-0, I think I'd be surprised, and I'd be surprised to see a lot of the players even play. I mean, if you're going to experiment, this is the game for it, because you want everyone fit for the Czechia game.
Yeah.
So if you want to give Luka only Modric 15 minutes, fine, just give him 15 minutes, because he'll want 15 minutes. He'll want to just turn up, fine.
Yeah, just another cap, give him a chance, and that's it. Maybe another goal.
This is the one where you should be playing, Ivanovic, Paslic, Baturina, Vuskovic. Your midfielders both switches.
I'm expecting just an entire young team. I don't want anybody, if possible, nobody over the age of 27, 28. If possible, except in goalkeeper, you can maybe even in goalkeeper you can put whoever you want. Just play the young guys, give them the chance to play, because this is the next generation, especially with Vuskovic. If you're not going to play him against Gibraltar, you're not going to play him against anybody.
Exactly. I mean, it might just be, again, a case of fitness. I don't know sort of what to say. It might be. I think Brook should start, but okay, fair enough. He's not trained fully yet. Maybe he gets 30 minutes. Fine. But like you said, there's no excuse really to be risking anything or anyone. And you ordinarily, I would sort of say with that sort of game, get the result first and then start mixing up. But with what you've got in reserve, should be getting it done.
Should be more than enough.
Anyway,
more than enough.
Exactly. It shouldn't be the case that you start. Let's say you start with a spine of like Budimir, Kovacic, and Schussler, or something like that as your three senior players. You want to put in, you shouldn't need to be doing that. But we'll see.
We'll see. Nobody knows. But yeah, obviously Kovacic isn't going to be with us this break, or probably in the next one, because he's out for 3 months. So when September comes around, he's probably going to be recovering still. So if he gets called up, he'll just be like, you just be around the players, just keep them entertained.
Yeah.
keep the
animals.
Keep the kids in check, please. But yeah, I'm expecting also Marko Pasalic to play against Gibraltar, because Pasalic hasn't had a single chance in a good game. He's only played last year at the Akut Cup in Egypt, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I'm really hoping to see. First of all, I'm hoping to see Vuskovic. If I see Vuskovic, I'm fine. Whatever else you choose, if I see Vuskovic in the starting lineup, I'm fine. Whatever else you put out. But realistically, just put everybody else apart from the first team players in the squad, and just get it. They're gonna get it over with.
Yeah,
they're gonna win.
The only area that kind of has to look fairly first team by default is the defense. But like you say, if you have Vuskovic and then you just put if you're playing 3. But have Vuskovic and then just put Shutlov and Guardiol either side of him.
You can put even Starisic, because he hasn't played in a long time.
Yeah,
for Croatia, that is.
Again, you find so. I mean, Starisic depends where they want to put him. If they're going to play 3, whether they put him out wide or
true,
whatever. I suppose probably the actual disadvantage this time around is there's no Sursa, which isn't always a disadvantage, to be fair.
Mm,
But if you wanted to play that three at the back,
yeah,
it kind of forces you into something you wouldn't prefer at left wing back. But I mean, again, it doesn't really matter who you put at left wing back. Put bloody put Katarski there. Why not? Because
why not?
it will make very little difference against Gibraltar.
Yeah. Obviously, we're playing against Gibraltar in 3 days now. Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's on
Yes.
the 6th. It's on the 6th, and on the 9th we play against the Czech Republic.
Yeah.
Obviously, our first real test. If we lose that, then it's we're gonna be in problems. But
Mm-hmm.
it's it's at home, so
It's at home, and you've the advantage, obviously. Again, I'm I'm gonna say something you're not gonna like, which is I'm about to underestimate Gibraltar, but obviously the comparative task Croatia have compared to the Czechs taking on Montenegro. Okay, it's a home game against Montenegro, but Montenegro are a much better team
yeah,
um, than Gibraltar and could feasibly get a result if they're
result.
playing up to their best.
Yeah, which under Prosinecki probably won't happen. But anyway,
Yeah.
God, we've just been slaughtering Prosinecki whenever you mention him. But
Yeah, but that's
it's with
because
good reason.
that's because again, I think I know I've mentioned this before. This one qualification campaign is Montenegro's actual window of being able to compete to get to a major tournament. This one
Yeah,
qualification campaign, because Jovetic will not be around for the next one,
yeah,
and you know you you have be able to mix that experience and good experience with bringing through Adzic and Balatovic, and yeah, no, they're being wasted, and yeah, I'll shut up.
yeah, yeah. They are. But yeah, we'll see. We mentioned it. We mentioned this when we found out which group Croatia is. This should be easy and done as soon as possible. Like you should be winning. Realistically, you should be dropping only 1 point, and that's Czechia away.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's the only that's the only game where I can see us and accept us dropping points. Everything else, no. You can't allow yourself to lose any points to any other team at any game.
No, because they're just not. Yeah, the
Yeah,
Pharaohs are again. The Pharaohs and Montenegro are probably pretty level in terms of where they are right now, and obviously when they played each other, uh, they were pretty level.
yeah,
But again, that level's far below Czechia, far below Croatia.
yeah. And we also have this this week Serbia, Albania.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started on that, because I'll say something I shouldn't. Uh,
I think a lot of people are gonna say something they shouldn't.
I mean, I firstly, I don't know if you saw what Pixie said yesterday. Where you're just
What
like,
did he say?
well, one, Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, he'll never play as long as I'm manager. I've tried calling him 5 times, and I'm just not going to waste my time anymore. He said, he basically said the same about Nemanja Radonjic, who then just clapped back on Instagram about it. He kind of inferred pretty similar about Vanya as well. And then, I mean, I think just the squad as well, from the last 3 games, obviously they brought in like Topic and a couple of other young, good, progressive midfielders.
Right.
And in this game, instead they've dropped all those good players who, I think would have Serbia as a very good, modern international side. And they have brought back, after not being capped for 5 years, Katai, who
Oh
had
my god.
a not good season and obviously got bodied out of MLS because his wife was a big old racist. So, I'm kind of like, what's your approach against Albania going to be? Is it going to be we're actually going to Albania are a good side, which they are, and we're going to try and play better than them, or is it going to be we're going to take bodies? And
Yeah.
unfortunately, Unfortunately, or
It's
fortunately for
looking,
people who like the scenes, it's going to
yeah,
be
yeah,
a bit of violence.
yeah. It also looks like Pixie just doesn't like Serbian players that played at Torino or are playing at Torino
Oh,
with Radonjic and yeah,
yeah. Again, we'll not mention Light. Light should be there, but
yeah,
yeah, other reasons.
other reasons. But yeah, I wouldn't be picking up Pixie's phone, by the way, after the last few years. No, I could be the most nationalistic Serb, proud of representing his nation. I don't think I would be pick up like after the last few seasons. I wouldn't be picking up Pixie's. If I see Pixie's phone number in my phone, I'm wondering why it wasn't blocked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be picking up either. But yeah. Uh, anything else? I mean, Jalovic should get his contract very soon because he obviously needs a new contract.
Yeah. Winning titles helps.
Trophies in general.
Yeah.
A double, could you imagine that can actually get you a much better second contract?
Yeah. I think to be fair to him, take it while you can get it because
Yeah,
it wasn't a good league to win. And it wasn't necessarily a good bellwether to say that he's going to be excellent next season.
yeah. Obviously, another thing, Lovro Zvonarek, Osijek.
Mm.
That's a rumor that's been going around recently. Even though, in my mind, and some people I've talked to, it's very unrealistic.
Yeah, where was he this season?
Sturm Graz
Yeah.
had a very good beginning. I think he scored like 2 goals in his first 2 games, and then after
Mhm.
that, just kind of fell into rotation.
Yeah. But still, rotation at Sturmgratz is better than Osijek.
Yeah, depends on. Well, obviously, and we forgot to mention. My God, Stanislav Shopov signed for Osijek yesterday. New number 10 at Osijek.
I don't really know him.
Yeah,
That's the insight you're all listening for.
that's what you guys came here for.
Yeah.
Bulgarian international size for Osijek. What do we know about him? His name.
Yeah.
Obviously, and with Šibenik, obviously we have other drama in the second tier. Dinamo and Hajduk too. They're
Yes.
trying really hard to get into the second tier immediately. Rudeš and other clubs have denied them the opportunity because they're like, this is just gonna make it tougher for us to stay up because those two can't get relegated.
Mhm.
Which that just makes 2 more spots for 2
And
teams to get relegated.
and also isn't that getting them out there? Why is it because they Dinamo and Hajduk weren't really that interested in their second sides? Why we got rid of them in the first place?
Yeah,
And we've mentioned I think we've mentioned Hajduk's money. It's it's more money, and it's probably not necessarily a good thing for them to be both the first and the second team in Dalmatia.
yeah. The 2 best teams of Dalmatia, Hajduk 2.
Then Yazhan Lukovac.
Today I mean, like an hour ago, I saw a post from a Ploče news outlet. Could you imagine we have those? And they're like, they just wrote, Bielovar, who's behind us 2 places, are getting promoted to the second tier because the second tier is expanding, but we don't have a license. So obviously you're not. Have you seen the stadium? We had to get a roof to be able to compete in the third tier, and the roof was just like put 4 poles and just put something on it, like just put a metal sheet. It's a roof.
Mhm.
That's it. We got a roof, boys.
Yeah,
It's very tiny. You can cover like 20% of the stand, I think.
where to start.
It's a roof. The most important thing. We had to get a roof. We have a roof. But yeah, I just kind of hate how Highness is allowing Hajduk and Dinamo to just go into the second tier, no questions asked. Hey, okay, you want to enter? We'll make space.
I mean, I think there's two aspects of it, which is one, the current system has not had the full time for you to actually kind of understand the ramifications of it and whether it's good, bad, indifferent. And the second thing is, like you say, putting them in the second tier, which, obviously we have in Scotland with Rangers and Celtic B side and Hearts B side as well. We're in the Lowland League in the 5th tier, and there's not much point. Too much of the beginning. Celtic have made a couple of decent sales of players who came through it, like Rocco Varta and Daniel Cummings, who's sort of just coming through at the minute. But again, what's the point of them being there playing against who they're playing against? No offense to the lads who are plumbers and want to play football on the weekends, absolutely fine. That's a great thing to do. But for 18 to 22-year-olds, you need to be playing against second-tier opposition, because that's how you progress as a player. And that's how you find your level as you go, whether it's you stay in the second tier forever or, you end up playing against those plumbers in the 5th tier. Whatever, but you get your chance.
Yeah.
And it's not representative. So it's difficult. It's too early to be making that call.
Yeah.
But it's too early, and also, for obvious reasons, you can doubt the commitment of Demo and Hajduk to it, because that was why we changed things in the first place. But if you're going to put them in anywhere, they have to be playing somewhere where it's competitive, and that's where.
And also give them at least make it possible for them to get relegated, because you're just putting two teams that are just going to be there forever.
Yeah,
like like they're gonna pay money, and the other clubs are gonna get that money, which in general they don't get just from being in the league. So but still, if Dinamo or Hajduk too just don't focus, or are just focusing on development, they just have a bad season result wise, they should get relegated. I don't see make them go back to the 3rd tier. Maybe that could even be better, because then you get promoted. Maybe the team. The second team gets some kind of unity going, and they actually stay together, and the next season they actually do better.
Yeah. I mean, again, obviously what we don't want to see is what we see in Serbia, where, just like, so what? So we can't get the kids through in the first year. How are we going to do that? Well, we're just going to buy another team and get them promoted into the first year, and we'll have them 5th. Okay.
Hey, there we go. They soon enough they're playing Europe, and there are B-sides.
That's fine. But we can't let Crystal Palace play in Europe. God.
God forbid Crystal Palace gets going into Europe, because they have a Lyon owner, right?
Yeah.
But I think we've covered pretty much all of it.
I think so.
There hasn't been that much to talk about.
He says an hour and 15 minutes later.
Well, yeah, but we kind of went on tangents outside of Croatia.
Yeah.
Serbia, Macedonia, Italy.
Croatian football and friends.
And friends.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been a nice season. We'll see if maybe in 2 weeks' time we do an episode just to cover the qualifying, the 2 qualifying games for Croatia, and maybe any other transfer news that we get if something big happens. God knows. We'll see. But until next time, thank you for listening and watching and following us this season, and we'll see you guys next time, whenever that is.